मंगलमय मंगल करण पीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये हरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करन को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. So this Mangalacharan is for the last time. Next time onwards, we will be doing Mangalacharan from Chaidala. So last week we ended up on feeling producing karma. That was the last we covered. Today we are going to cover 3 more karmas. The lifespan karma, then physic making karma, that is Nam karma, and the Gotra karma, that is status determining karma. Okay. So I told you to read as a homework. So I am just covering directly. We are not going to read those 3 karmas content, but anyway, I will summarize it. So Jiva's condition due to rise of Ayu karma, life karma, that is lifespan karma. Okay. So due to the rise of Ayu karma, we get birth in different kinds of bodies with a specific duration. Okay. That duration is our lifespan karma. And so long the duration is there, when the birth starts, you cannot change it. So our total life in this birth, human life, now we are in human life, right? So in this birth, our time is fixed. It cannot be increased even by a second. And the next body that we are going to acquire, the bondage of that happens in a particular manner that is not written in this book, but I am just explaining you. Supposing you have, as a matter of fact, all the out of 8 karmas, we are binding karmas of the 7 types all the time. Except Ayu karma, all the 7 are getting bonded every moment. Okay. Only when you realize yourself, some of the prakritis of karma are not bounded. But otherwise, in an ignorant state, we are binding all the 7 karmas all the time. But for lifespan determining karma, there is a specific time where you can bound. Now, what is that time frame? Supposing you are having an age of 81 years in this life. Okay. So your first attempt to bind Ayu karma will be at the age of 54. When you pass your 2/3 of life, that is the first time you have an opportunity to bind Ayu karma, okay, of next birth. Where you will be going in the next birth, that is being bounded here in this birth. First time at the age of 2/3 of your life, when it goes off, then that is the first time you are getting a chance to bind the karma for the next birth. Then if that does not happen on that time, then 2/3 of the rest of the life. So rest of the life was 27 years. So 2/3 of that, that is after 18 years, next opportunity will come. That will be at the age of 72, when you are 72. If then also it doesn't happen, then it will come 2/3 of time after 72, whatever is left, 2/3 of that. So after 72 to 81, it is 9 years left. So after 6 years, that is at 78, you will have another chance to bind. Then similar fashion you keep on doing. 8 times is the opportunity that we get to bind what will be our next birth. So at that time, if your dispositions of a very high quality, you bind such karmas that you get birth in that particular life. Okay. Now, if this 8 attempts fail, then the last 48 minutes of your life, that is the time you are going to bind your next birth's life. Okay. So that's why all the time when we see that people are going to die, we always try to relate to them with Tattva Gyan, Namokar Mantra, net. So at least if he's not bind karma previously, in the last moment, if he's in happy space, he will bind good karmas and he will get a good birth, That is the logic whole. But we never know when we are going to bind the karmas. So anyways, it is irrelevant to us, but on a worldly basis, people are very much interested in this kind of talks, and they try all the life. They might have done bad things, but at the end, they want to have no more car mantra and something on religious side, you know, believing that they will get a good birth in the next life.
So you said in the last 8 minutes,
Like last 48 minutes.
40.
Uh, it could be anything less than 48 minutes where he is going to bind. If the first 8 attempts had failed, then the last 48 minutes will decide. In the last 48 minutes, he will bind karmas for the next birth. Okay. So this is all about. So long your Ayu is there, whatever be the cause, you are going to be there. You are not going to die. Few years ago, uh, in fact, 45 years ago, there was one lady. Uh, her name was Aruna Shanbag, I suppose, if I remember it correctly. And
Yes.
she was raped and she went into a coma and she survived for 45 years. And very recently, 5, 7 years ago only, she expired. So you see, if your life is that much, you have to anyway spend, whether you are bedridden or whatever it is. Okay. So ayukarma is that it doesn't go. It goes only on its time only, and when the time comes, nothing is going to stop you from leaving this world. Okay. So the soul doesn't die. What happens is you just change your body. As we change our clothes, Total just given your example. As we change our dresses, similarly we change our body. Okay. So this birth and death cycle is going on since time immemorial, and we have got an opportunity to break this cycle and get us liberated. And considering the kind of interest that you people have developed and the kind of opportunity that we have got in terms of this course, we can definitely believe that we are not going to be here for long, very means maybe 2, 4 births. In the next 2, 4 births, you will get liberated. We all will get liberated because this is a very bad time. And in this bad time, we have got the this tattva gyan, which is of very high nature, means it gets you liberated. Only you have to know few things only, right? So this is the opportunity that we are having, and we should make the most of it. So soul is eternal, but because of the association of body, there is this birth and death happening. Uh,
So does it mean it is better to have the minimum Ayu karm then?
no, it is nothing as such. Soul is soul. Soul is eternal. So it doesn't matter whether my age is less or more, whether I am going to get birth in hell, doesn't matter. When you are with right belief, wherever you go, you are going to enjoy. And even now also, there are people in hell who are enjoying his life by manifesting right belief. Right belief is achieved in all the 4 states of existence. Okay. Even in animal kingdom, there are 5 sensed beings who have got mind, and those people are also capable of manifesting right belief. So we don't go into that discussion that this gati is good and that good. Wherever you go with right belief. Okay. You eliminate the path wherever you go. Okay. So this is the final thing, and this is all about Ayu karma. The next is physic making karma. As the name suggests, whatever looks we have got, whatever body we have got, whatever the parts of body that we are having, it all depends on our past physic making karma, nam karma. It is called nam karma. It has got 93 subdivisions. Okay. I have shared the subdivisions in Hindi just a couple of hours ago. You can make out from there that whatever the karmas are there. In page number 84 in this book only, you can just see some of the things are explained there, but if you want to see the whole, you can see in the clip that I have shared. So in page number 84, last paragraph, due to the rise of name karma. So they have written name karma, physic making karma, gati. Gati means state of existence. Jati. Jati means 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense, 5 sense. So there are 5 divisions of jati, there are 4 divisions of gati, then there are 5 kinds of body, then there are 5 kinds of bandhan, sangat, sansthan, sahanan, all it's written in that thing. So in total, there are 93 subdivisions of this physic making curve, and accordingly you get this body. So if somebody is very good looking, that means he has got auspicious nam karma, right? Auspicious, there is a particular specific karma for that, for the looks that you get. It is called mm, su, su, uh, 1 minute. It's in the clip. Can you share the clip? I will. Oh, I have not made you co-host. Jia, I will make you a co-host. You can share the clip.
So which clip?
So you can make me. I downloaded it.
Okay.
The one that
Yeah, yeah,
on WhatsApp.
yeah. WhatsApp, right? Okay. So I have shared. So you can see that the voice you got. So there is one suswar, duswar. So if you are having a rise of suswar karma, your voice will be like Lata Mangeshkar and Kishore Kumar and all. And if you are with duswar, you will have a very coarse voice. Now the looks that I was talking about looks. So there are pairs, 10 pairs are there. You can see from here, prasast, aprasast, then Ubgat, Pargat, Uchwas, Atap, Udyot, okay. Tras, Thavar, Badar, Suksham. These are the pairs, 10 pairs. Prasast, Aprasast, Tras, Thavar, Badar, Suksham, Paryapt, Aparyapt, Pratyek, Sadharan, Sthir, Asthir, Shubh, Ashubh. Okay. Then Subhag, Durbhag. I think Subhag, Dubhag is related to the looks. Suswar is related to good voice. Duswar is related to bad voice. Ade, Anade, Yashkirti. Yashkirti, some people become very famous because there is a rise of Yashkirti karma. Then Apyashkirti, Ayashkirti. So you are being criticized everywhere. So even if you are doing some very good things, people still criticize you because there is a rise of Ayashkirti. And you are being praised, although you have not done very something very good, but still you are praised because you have a Yashkirti. So you must have seen in an organization, in a company, in a school, in a class, everywhere that some student, they are overrated and they are some are underrated. Okay. So some get recognition beyond their efforts and some gets little recognition in spite of so much of efforts. So all these are related to this karma. Then we have Nirman and the last one is Tirthankar. Tirthankar is a Nam karma prakriti. Okay. So if you have got, then only you will become a Tirthankar. Okay. So these are the various Nam karmas and accordingly you get the association of body, and along with Mo, you just remember one thing very clearly, that all the 4 non-obscuring karma, aghati karma, in itself they are not cause of misery. But when they are along with delusion karma, okay, when they are along with monia karma, they act as a destructional karma. They are able to manifest misery in us only when it is with more. So Aryan Bhagwan has got all the 4 non-obscuring karma, but he is not into any kind of misery or pain because he has completely wiped out the deluding karma. Okay. So this is all about Nam karma. Now the last one, that is the Gotra karma. So because of this Gotra karma, you get birth in a high status or low status. So again, it is not in our hand, it is our past karma. Okay. But there is one thing that I want to make you aware, which is not written here, that even if you are born in a very high status, okay, and if you are doing deeds which are of low status, then we would say that you have a rise of low status karma, although you are born in high status. So it is not by birth that we are you can determine that whether he or she is a high status or low status. It depends on your deeds. Okay. So somebody may get birth in a very low caste, scheduled caste and all these tribes and all. But with his activity, with his deeds, he can get the high status determining karma. Okay. So again, we are not dependent on karma. Our present effort matters so much, to change our life, So it is not that we are dependent on some karmas and whatever the karma dictates us, we have to behave accordingly. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Karmas are matter particles and we are soul particles. We are soul substance. So how can karma affect us? Okay. If we choose not to manifest in the right manner, then the karmas act as an instrumental cause. Okay. So this Ghati and Agati, in only Agati only we have divisions of auspicious and inauspicious. But as far as obscuring karmas are concerned, Ghati karmas are concerned, it is all one way only, inauspicious karmas only. Okay. So this is all about this. Now I will read the concluding paragraph. O Bhavya. O Bhavya Jiva. Bhavya Jiva is a capable soul, capable to get liberated. Okay, all those souls who are capable to get liberated are called Bhavya Jiva. And there are infinite Abhavya Jiva who are incapable of getting liberated. Now just imagine, if we would have been one of those, then even getting this Dev Guru Shastra and the scriptures, everything doesn't matter. We will not be able to manifest right belief anytime. We will never get liberated, So there are some infinite living beings who are abhavya and they are not going to get liberated. They are going to just transmigrate, 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 from time immemorial to time immemorial. No, no chance, So we are fortunate. How we can say we are fortunate? So in Padmanandi Panchvisidika, Padmanandi Swami says that whoever listens to the sermons or whoever listens to the scriptures being read with pleasant feeling, okay, with happiness, is surely to get liberated very soon. So we are all very fortunate to pursue the scriptures in a very systematic manner and we are so much committed. So we are definitely going to get liberated very soon. So again, oh Bhavya Jiva, you should think deeply in your inner heart and see whether it is so only or not. After all the descriptions of this karma, this is the conclusion that whether it is so only or not, the effect of the karmas that are on Jeev that is being explained just now, that is there or not, you just think in your heart. Okay, think rationally. On contemplation, it would appear to be so only. This is the Todarmalji, what he has concluded, right? If it is so, then, now the first part, if you are convinced, then I'm saying you the second part. If it is so, then do accept that you are being afflicted since eternity by transmigration form of disease. So this is a disease, transmigrating from one birth to another birth. Okay. So who have this kind of consideration? Very few people in this universe. Everyone is into eat, drink, and marry, and that is what we see across everywhere. But that does not mean that whatever is written in the scriptures is wrong. No. Although we know that many people are not going to take this statement, but still, this is the truth. And this is the truth that you have to accept. Okay. So we have this disease of transmigration since eternity, no beginning. You should make efforts to destroy it. Okay. What you should make efforts to destroy? This transmigration, this cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Okay. And that cycle can be broken by manifesting right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. And once you do that, then there is not enough time left for your transmigration. Maximum is 15th birth according to Srimad Ji. And time wise, it is Adh Pudgal Paravartan. Adh Pudgal Paravartan is a long period. Okay. But that is the limit. Those who manifest right belief, the maximum time that they can remain in this mundane existence is Adh Pudgal Paravartan time wise, and birth wise it is 15. Okay. But now I want to make a statement. If you are putting in such efforts as we are doing here in Parmagam Honors course, then it's a very general assessment, but I can assure you that it's not going to be more 2-4 births. So we are there since time immemorial, and we are into such a time where in the next 2-4 births we are going to get liberated. Just imagine. Just imagine this moment. Just imagine this association that we have got. You know, it is worth what it is not worth at all. It's invaluable. You cannot put a price to it, right? So this is the opportunity that we have got. You should make efforts. Todarmalji is saying us, you should make efforts to destroy it, to destroy all this birth and death because of the karma. Okay, so you have to destroy this karmic matter. How do you destroy it? Very fast.
So by meditation.
Meditation. Good. Anyone else?
Right belief.
Okay, very good. Then
Once we manifest right belief with the science of discrimination, contemplating on our own soul and being in the happiness of our own soul.
Okay, very good. Anyone else?
Contemplating, reflecting, and making a decision.
Yes, this is what I wanted. In terms of effort, what we can do? We have to read the scriptures, we have to contemplate on it, and arrive at a conclusion or decision. That is what our efforts is. Beyond that, our effort does not work. Everything else happens automatically. The fading away of delusion gradually happens, and one day the delusion goes away and you manifest right belief, and then you manifest omniscience knowledge, and then you get liberated. All this is not our job or function. Okay, these are all automatic. So in terms of efforts, what you can best do is read the scriptures very seriously, then contemplate on it, and then arrive at a decision. And once you have decided, forget it. How many times do you say, I am Himali, I am Himali, I am Himali? Never. You decided, I am Himali. When you were only 1 year old, if somebody says Himali, you will look at that side. Why? Because because of constant hammering, you have believed yourself to be Himali. Now, in similar passion, in similar way, we have to believe that we are pure soul. From external side, we have many roles to play, but internally we are only pure soul, and our function is to just know and see, nothing beyond that. Okay, and if you remain to that extent only, you have manifested right belief, because right belief is what? You are pure soul and you believe your soul to be a pure soul. Okay, so it is so simple. Okay, thus ends the second chapter describing the mundane state of existence of jivas in this moksha marg prakasak named Shastra. Okay, so this we end. In the next sem, we will again be in touch with Pandit Todarmalji. And now we are moving on to another great scholar, Pandit Daulat Ramji. 60 years after Pandit Ji wrote Moksha Marg Prakashak, this Chedala Granth was written, you know. So it's another very very good scriptures, and all of you have received the Chedala book. So
So I have a question before we.
yes.
So when you speak of Ayu Karma and you said that let's assume your total life birth is this, and then at the stage of when you reach the 2/3 point milestone
Yes.
is when the Ayu Karma, the next birth's Ayu Karma is decided.
Yes. It is
So
decided.
is that why you tell Jia that you're really happy that a young person has joined this course? Because she may not have reached that 2/3 milestone and things
So
will.
nobody knows that we have reached 2/3 or not.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
So I just appreciate Jia because this is the time when our grasping power is at the maximum, you know. And if we get involved in this, then we will be other things. We will not get involved in that, you know. And uh, like my son, I put him in Jaipur when he was 15-year-old.
Oh,
After clearing class 10, he got 90% in class 10. Okay. But still I made him admitted there because I know all this MBA and CA and engineering, it doesn't make any sense to me as a parents. Okay. So we pushed him from the beginning only. When he was 5-year-old, okay, he was learning gathas from Samay sir and all, and he used to recite on stage. Okay. So
Oh,
from beginning only we have given him that sanskar, and so by the time the class 10, he only decided that I want to go to Jaipur to study this religion. And that's how we went there. So thing is that the younger the age you start, the more strength you have to adapt it in a very good manner. You know, that is the advantage we all carry. Okay. So uh, it is another factor that so before my son's birth, you know, we were eating potato and kanda and all. We were not Jain at all, you could say. But after his birth, suddenly things started changing in our life. And we got connected to these studies and we left everything. And you know, so from his birth, he never had potato or kanda anytime. So now just see, if the destiny is such, you automatically get wherever you get birth, you know, wherever you get birth, you get it. So it's all cause and effect relationship. It is not that because of one thing, the other thing is happening. So we know the independence of each thing, but there exists a cause and effect relationship, and that is what I'm highlighting. Okay. So we never know when we are going, how much is our birth, how much years are left in this birth. So it is better to be alert all the time. Why should I wait for 2/3? I'm alert all the time. And the more challenging part is that even if I get in birth in the hell, I have prepared so much myself that there also I will keep on enjoying. Now, this is the effort that you have to put in. This is the confidence you have to develop. Okay. So once you are confident, it doesn't matter. And confidence comes with study, with decision making, with contemplation. And that's what we are doing. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone? Yeah, Amitaji.
I want to just say, as an older person, that the younger you are, the less mistakes you make, and the less. So I have more regrets to deal with, and so the younger they are, the better. So I'm really uh, very envious of all my young classmates.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. But having said that, we are soul, right? So age is just a number for us. You know, we are going to be eternal. So you take solace in this thing that we are all soul, and as a soul, there is no old age and young age, right? So from that perspective, so whatever situations are there in your life, whatever regret and guilt that you feel anytime, you have to just come back to your own original role, that I am a pure soul. And when you get into that, then all the guilt and regret all goes away. Okay. So we have to find ways where we are in happy space all the time, come what may. Okay. Let the life throw any kind of situations in our life. but we will find ways to be happy in all the situations. That is what the preaching that we want to carry from this studies, you know. So it is a 360-degree development all the time we are in happy space. Okay. So, but whatever you said is correct. The earlier you start, the better it is, and that's why I appreciate Gia. We have one more student in the other batch, other two batches also, just like Gia. One is doing behavioral science in London School of Economics, and she comes first in that batch, 2023 batch English, you know. So she has such a fast grasping that even if she doesn't attend class, she can read on her own and get the meanings that even the scholars are not able to get out of it, you know. She has got such a good talent. So she is doing behavioral science in London School of Economics, and she is just like Gia only. And one more, the in Los Angeles batch we have who is she? Yeah, she is a girl from Bombay only, and she also must be around 25, around 23, 25 age. So she's also doing very good. So this is what I find among the youngsters, that their grasping power is so good that within a few minutes they can make out what we are trying to tell, and that is the best part. But having said that, even my parents, I'm talking my parents, so we got it when I was 30. My parents were at that time 65 years old, but they also picked up. That is the thing. So irrespective of what age we have, if we have a what you call interest in ourselves to spiritually develop ourselves, nothing stops us. Okay. So from that perspective, we are all at one level only. We are all learning. Every day is a new day for us. Every day is a fresh opportunity for us, and we improve upon us every day. We become a better version every day of ours. Okay. And that is what keeps us motivated all the time. And we are ready to take any challenges that are supposed to be coming in our life. And we are not going to struggle, but we are going to enjoy those moments. Okay. So that is the confidence we should carry, and rest of things will happen automatically on its own. Okay. Any other questions? Good. So we will move on to
Sir,
chat.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yeah.
How is this IU karma decided?
How?
Is the IU karma decided?
Depending on the deeds that we are doing, right? So general part is whatever we do, everything has a cause and effect relationship, and that is what binding the karmas. Okay. Now, as far as Ayu karma is concerned, that I already mentioned that it is the 7 karmas are getting bound every moment. Only
Yeah.
Ayu karma is getting bound in a specific moment, and that specific moment, as I said, when 2/3 of our life is gone, that is the first time that we are getting an opportunity to bind Ayu karma. Then it goes on that way, and 8 times we get that opportunity. And even that doesn't happen, then in the last 48 minutes of our life, within 48 minutes, anytime, we bind our next birth, you know, where we are going to get in. But as I said, we should be alert all the time. We should develop this awareness that we are having this feeling in us that I am soul. Just as the feeling that somebody calls Jia, and suddenly your mind, you know, it clicks in your mind that they are calling me. Similarly, you should have in your mind that I am pure soul all the time. From time eternal, I am pure soul. Even when I was in hell, even when I was in Nigod, I was still a pure soul. And here also I am a pure soul. And when I get to liberated state, then also I will be a pure soul. So nothing changes in me, only the modification keeps on changing, and modifications are momentary. So they are anyways going to change. Even in Siddh Parmesti, the modifications are changing every moment, every moment. Okay. So we are uninfluenced, unaffected by anything. Okay, all the time we are into same composer. Okay, only a knower, 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 nothing else. So whether we were in Nigod, we are a knower. When we were in hell, we were a knower. When we were in subhuman state, we are still a knower. Here also we are a knower, and in Siddhalaya also will be a knower. So it doesn't make any difference whatever the modifications would be. Our pure soul remains all the time pure, pure, pure. And this is who I am. Okay. This much only the decision that you have to do.
Yes, sir. Thank
Isn't
you.
it easy? Isn't it easy? We
Yes, it
studied
all
so much.
depends on the effort we make, sir.
Yes,
Everything
yes.
is on the
But
effort.
as I said, the effort is one part, but the syllabus itself is so easy. That is what I want to convey. So we put in so much of efforts in getting a degree. So I am a commerce graduate. Only I am a commerce graduate. Okay. Then somebody must be an MBA, doctor, engineer. So we put in so many hours, 16 hours a day. We are putting those studies, and for 20 years we are studying. We start studying at the age of 3, 4, and up to 23, 24 hours life goes for study only. So 20 hours we study for that. And here, even within 2 hours, you can make out that you are a pure soul. So easy, There could be nothing more easy than this, the path of liberation. And
Yes,
here
sir.
only your efforts, results are seen. All the efforts that you are putting outside world, it all depends on your punya and pap. Whether you have a punya karmas rise, then only you get good things in life. Okay. And your effort does not yield anything in the outside world. It is just only the results of fusion of your past and punya that is there outside world. There is
Hmm.
nothing in terms of effort that you can do in the outside world. It is all your destiny, your eligibility of the moment. Okay. And this eligibility of the moment of the 3 times, past, present, and future, is all predestined. And it happens in that sequence only. And you are an observer. Even if you believe, you are an observer. Even if you don't believe this, then still you are an observer. You don't become a doer any point of time. Only in your belief you consider yourself to be a doer. Otherwise, you don't become a doer at all. So things are very simple. And with this note, I think we will end this Moksmat Prakasha. And you have the soft copy of Chedala also, no, Himali? You can share. So we are lucky to have, I was just reading this book in the morning, and it has such a nicely been written by Kirit by Gosalia. So we are very indebted to them. So far, whatever we have studied, the translation was not of that good quality, but here you are getting a very better level of translation. And as we study, you will understand also that this particular scripture is complete in itself, and it's just a mini Samaisar,
Hmm.
mini Samaisar. Everything is there in this small granth, everything, the whole path of liberation, starting from uh, right belief to right knowledge to right conduct and everything. It's a comprehensive scripture, you can say. Okay. So it is written by Pandit Daulat Ramji, and we have read about Pandit Daulat Ramji in our chapters like errors regarding 7 fundamentals. Vitrag Vigyan 2 was adapted from Chedala. Then in Vitrag Vigyan 3, we studied about delusion, inborn delusion and acquired delusion. That also has been adapted from this particular scripture only. So we have a fair, we know the introduction of Pandit Daulat Ramji, but nevertheless, I will again uh, briefly describe what was his life like. Very little is known about his personal life, but since he was here recently, so we have some authentic data about those, about his life. Uh,
Jia, can you check your WhatsApp?
Yeah. So,
so I will make a co-host then Jia, or or you can continue.
I can, so it's just gone off from my phone. So
Okay, okay, okay.
yeah,
Yes, I can
WhatsApp.
do it.
So I will make Gia the co-host, no problem.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I can make two people co-host, no, simultaneously, or no, it is not so.
I hope so.
Yes, sir, you can make two co-hosts.
Acha. Okay, no problem. So Pandit Daulat Ramji was born in Sasni near Aligarh, and it's near Aligarh. The present we have Manglayatan. Okay, so there is a temple called Pandit Daulat Ramji's temple. There only he wrote this Chedala Granth in 1834 Common Era. Okay, 1834, Sunday 11th May 1834. Okay, so Pandit Daulat Ramji was born in the year 1798 in a small town known as Sasni. This is the from page number 11 that I'm reading, preface. Okay.
So I just wanted to ask, can someone else screen share, because I'm taking my notes on my laptop. I don't have a notebook.
Okay.
Does anyone have a?
So you got the physical book or not?
Yeah, I have the physical.
So you write whatever you want to write in that book only, no? So that when you read again, you have those things there.
Sure.
Or
Okay.
you want to write big notes.
No, I just take notes that you say.
Okay.
I'll do
So
that.
whatever I'm saying is there in the textbook.
Okay.
Just take out page number 11, preface,
Yeah.
and there it's everything is mentioned.
Okay, sir, that works.
Okay, page number 11. So you have to tie up with fellow students who will share and So I
Yes.
give that responsibility to the team leader. Now you manage everything. Okay. So I don't mind. Okay. So Pandit Daulat Ramji was born in 1798 in a small town, Sasni, Aligarh, in Aligarh, Hathras area of North India. His father name was Todarmal, not Todarmal ji of Mokshmar Prakasak ji, but this is a different person. And his caste was Paliwal. His father was cloth merchant. Daulat Ramji was expert in Sanskrit and Prakrit languages. He was married to the daughter of Seth Chintamani Jain and had two sons born in 1826 AD and 1829 AD. Daulat Ramji started working with his father and became cloth merchant, but his main interest was the scripture study. One time he was giving discourse on Gomatsar in the temple. At that time, Seth Mani Ramji of Mathura came to temple and was impressed with his knowledge of scriptures. In those times, it was very difficult to get a scholar who can make you understand about the nature of soul. Very rare. Even during the time of Todarmalji, very few people discussed about soul. It was only just Pratman Yog stories and the rituals, nothing else. In terms of religion, people were doing rituals, and at most during Das Lakshan Dharma and other festivals, they used to read stories from Pratman Yog, nothing else. Okay. So he was very impressed by Daulat Ramji, and he invited him to come to Mathura. So Daulat Ramji stayed in Mathura for a while and then came back home. He now started new business of dye printing of clothes in Aligarh. He did suffer financial hardship during his life, but his intense faith in Jain philosophy never made him agitated. While he was working as dry printing of clothes, he used to keep scriptures next to him for study. In one day, he can remember up to 60 to 70 standards by heart. From Aligarh, he then moved to Delhi. He stayed there till the end of his life. And he passed away at the age of 68 on 7th December, Friday, 1866 in Delhi only. Okay. In fact, 6 days prior to the death, he knew about it and went on asking for forgiveness from all. Okay. So when we do samadhi, the person who is taking care of your samadhi, he always advises you to take this forgiveness to all. We have no enemies in this earth. Whatever is there is just because of my punya and pap that things have happened in my life. There is no enemy of mine here at all. So you do forgive them all. There are two creations of Daulatamji available at present. One is Daulat Vilas, which comprises of 124 prayers, very spiritual inclined prayers. If you read those, you will feel very happy. And the second one is Chaidala, which we are going to study anyways. So Panditji got inspiration to write this Chaidala from one scholar, Sri Buddhajan Ji. Okay, he has written in 1859. So Panditji wrote in 1834. So when he wrote, he was at the age, his age was 36. Okay, and yeah, and when this Buddhajanji wrote Chaidala, its name is again a Chaidala, it was in the year 1802. Okay, so Panditji wrote at 1834, 32 years after Buddhajanji, and he got inspiration from there only to write this. So that scripture also had 6 chapters. Here also it is 6 chapters, and that's why it is known as Chai Dhala. Dhala means protective shield, protective shield. As in earlier days during war, they used to fight with this bow and dhala. Dhala was protection and arrow was for attacking. Okay, but here we don't have arrow because we are all people having feeling of non-violence. So we don't believe in violence. Okay, so we don't need the talwar, sword. Okay, we only need dhala, protective shield. We want to protect ourselves from delusions, attachments, and aversions. These are our greatest enemy, delusion. So we want to protect ourselves from this moh, rag, dvesh, delusions, attachments, and aversions, and from mithya darshan, mithya gyan, mithya charitra, false belief, false knowledge, and false conduct. Okay. Now again, the protective shield is because in Hindi the tunes are called dhal. Okay, so there are 6 different tunes in Chaidala for each chapter. Okay, so that's why also it is named as Chaidala. Chai means 6, Dhala means protective shield. So this protective shield depicts 6 chapters of this book. Okay, so he completed this book on Sunday 11th May 1834. That is given in the last paragraph. Now what are these 6 tunes? Chopai, Paddari, Jogirasa, Rola Chand, Chal, Hari Gitika. All these have different way of pronunciation. Okay, different way of different tunes. So as we read the chapter, I will introduce you to the tunes, and everybody should read it that way only. Now, what is the content in this 6 dhala? I will also explain you that in brief. Okay. Just a minute. Yeah. So in the first chapter, in the first dhal, we will see that how this soul is transmigrating in the universe due to the influence of delusion and the kind of sorrows that he is experiencing in the 4 states of existence. Okay, that is the first chapter. In the second chapter, what are the causes of this misery is being explained by explaining mithya darshan, mithya gyan, mithya charitra, false belief, false knowledge, and false conduct. Okay, and in that again we will be discussing inborn delusion and the acquired delusion. Okay, so all these forms in the second chapter. In the third chapter, Panditji is depicting what are the means that we can get over these miseries. Okay, so what are the means? So the problem was mithya darshan, mithya gyan, mithya charitra. So means are Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra. Right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. Okay. So those are being discussed from two perspectives, one from the conventional perspective and one from the real perspective. Okay. Then in that particular chapter, third chapter only, there is being discussion on the right belief, its characteristics, its glorification, its fruits. All these are discussed in chapter 3. Then in chapter 4, right knowledge. So right belief is discussed in chapter 3. Then in fourth, right knowledge and its glorification. And then in fourth chapter, halfway down the line, the discussion on right conduct has started. And initially, right conduct in the life of an householder is discussed in chapter 4. Then that particular householder, with his effort, he attains monkhood. And in monkhood, the full description of the monkhood is explained in chapter 5th. Okay. So there is a very vivid description of Bara Bhavna. Okay. 12 contemplations. We have already read this in chapter of Vitrag Vigyan. And but here will be again explanation, detailed explanation. So fifth chapter is complete, which completely constitute of 12 reflections only. Okay. And then in the sixth chapter, the whole process of the path of liberation, starting from becoming a monk to attaining godhood, is explained in this sixth chapter. The 28 main attributes of a monk are also being explained. And the main part of the sixth dhal is the description on deep introspective meditation, Shuddhop Yog, Swarupacharan Charitra. Okay, that is discussed in detail in that, and that's how it ends. So you know the content of all the 6 chapters now. And before we go on to begin the scripture, I want to bring to your notice that there exists a similarity between Pandit Todarmalji's Moksha Prakashak and Pandit Daulat Ramji's Chhai Dala. Moksha Prakashak was written 60 years before Pandit Daulat Ramji wrote Chhai Dala. Okay. So there are.
Sir, can you just repeat fifth one, chapter 5?
Chapter 5 is about 12 reflections, Bara Bhavna.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So there is a similarity between Moksha Prakashak and Chhai Dala, and that similarity is I'm just relating to. So in Pandit Todarmalji's Moksha Prakashak, the first 3 chapters, okay, 2 we already studied, third is going to come up in the next semester. All these 3 chapters are covered by Pandit Daulat Ramji in the first chapter of Chhai Dala. Okay, first chapter of Chhai Dala. Then the next 5 chapters, starting from chapter 4 to chapter 8, is being covered in the second chapter of Chhai Dala. Then the beginning of the 9th chapter in Moksha Marg Prakashak is similar to what Pandit Daulat Ramji has done in the 3rd chapter of Chhai Dala, and there up to the similarity exists because Todarmalji died after, since the scripture was incomplete. Okay, so just the path of liberation began in 9th chapter, and it is there up to that only. But now, based on this Chhai Dala, we can complete that scripture Moksha Marg Prakashak, right? So inspired by that idea only, this idea was shared by Pandit Annaji from Jaipur, Todarmal Smarak Trust, he came to Bombay in 2002, I think. Two, yeah, it was two. And he was here in Borivali for 30 days. And he studied, he taught us Gunasthan. And at the end of the 30 days, he took exam also, and I came first in that exam. So I remember very vividly. So at that point of time, he told us the comparison between Chedala and the Moksha Marg Prakashak. Okay. And with that inspiration also, I have a feeling in myself that I will make a serious attempt to complete Moksha Marg Prakashak. And my plan is to complete in English. I'm not going to do in Hindi. Later on, it could be translated to Hindi, but I want to do in English. Okay. So, with time permitting and I don't know, I will be able to do it or not. But for many years, it is not the new idea that has cropped up. When I took retirement for business, then I said, why I'm taking retirement? What is the need to take retirement? In that time, I wanted to do something in English. That was my feeling. But the moment I retired and started reading scriptures, I got a different vibes, that first I should understand myself very clearly. And then instead of translating, we can create new content. Okay. And this thing that I had in mind, so I focused on studying it instead of doing anything in English at that point of time. And this Parmagam also came in my life, and I got this opportunity to teach. And things started happening, and now with this Jeev portal, I got an interest in English. So there was a challenge to design a syllabus, and we designed the syllabus and also the content what is to be kept in this each chapter, and we never copied a single chapter from Vitrag Vigyan 1, 2, 3 or Tattva Gyan, Tattva Gyan 2, and even we never looked at it from any angles. We completely made a new content, and that is being appreciated by everyone. You must also have seen it. Have you seen all the articles in Jeev? There are 36 articles now. This is the first level. I think there are 3 levels. So this is the beginners levels. Beginning levels, we have 36 chapters, and then intermediate level, it's going to come up by I think another 3-4 months it will come up. And then the third level by December is expected, where it will be the advanced level. Okay, so they have designed it that way. So you can just see those articles. That is something we have got in English. And of course, I'm going to write a message to Pandit Kirit Bhai Gosalia also. He has written such a nice manner this particular scripture of Chaidala. He has done the translation, not his written, but he has done the translation and has done a very good copy with pictures, color pictures and all. So it looks so attractive. At least we have something to give to students as a support. So far what we have got is all PDF only, and this is the chance that we are able to give you something in physical book. Of course, we have Moksha Marg Prakashak also, but this quality of translation is better than Moksha Marg Prakashak. So I've already started doing Moksha Marg Prakashak again, revised version with the help of ChatGPT. The translation team has started doing it, and I've undertaken this responsibility to review it. Okay. So they have sent me the ChatGPT version, raw ChatGPT version, and now I'm going to check it and with Hindi. So I think this semester is already over. We have covered the first and second chapter, but by the time in the next semester when we read third and fourth chapter, I'll be ready with the new version of Moksha Marg Prakashak, and then we will experiment with this class, the third and fourth chapter, because with ChatGPT the flow of language is very good. You feel like reading it. So that is something makes it more attractive to read. If we are not able to understand properly, we have to see the dictionary to get to the meaning of words, then it doesn't do such a big impact on us. But if the language is very good, so you read Jeev's article. It's written by, the whole content is written by Vijal Sheth. She is a student of 2016 batch of mine, and she has done it very nicely, and she's still doing something else all the time. She into full-time employment of this Vitrag Warning team from Vile Parle, you know. So she's doing very good, and the translation also she has done very good. So we can have access to those articles. It's already there on the portal. You can have a look at it. Okay. Now the next, we are now beginning the scripture. So we will do again a Manglacharan. Okay. So for this class, I have put the title as CD. Chhe Dala is shortcut CD. Moksha Marg Prakashak was MMP. So when you search in YouTube, if you have missed any class, you should understand that CD means Chhe Dala. Okay. So first 30 minutes is explanation on Moksha Marg Prakashak only. And then of course we have started Chhe Dala, the introduction. And now we are going to take this forward. Okay. Originally written by Kavivar Pandit Daulat Ramji. So the Manglacharan.
What is the page number?
Page number is 19, 20, 21. Yeah, after the next page. Yeah, this one only, right. Right. This is this. So we will do the Manglacharan. Manglacharan in English is invocation of blessings. It is a Sortha Chand. So every chand has a different kind of tune. तीन भुवन में सार वीतराग विज्ञानता शिव स्वरूप शिवकार नमो त्रियोग समारिकर. So the pronunciation in the earlier book that we had from Jaipur, I think that is published from Songad. So there are some changes in pronunciation like Samarikar. And in the Chedala, the original that was published from Songad and subsequently from Jaipur, there it is written Samarike. So I have been reading this Chedala from this Jaipur edition only. So my pronunciation might differ sometimes with this book. Okay. So, but you should follow this one because this is the original one. And in page number 173, you can see the original script, not 160, 163, sorry, 163. You can see in this book itself, you can turn around and see the original scripture. It is given here, the copies. How it is written, it is on a continuous basis, no paragraph, nothing, only the main scripture, Chedala. So you can make out how it is. Okay. So in earlier times, you know, the scholars does not used to waste any time. If it is completed, once a verse has completed at one point, the next verse starts there only. So now it licks you in a very clutter form, but that time they used to economize on paper use also, you know, and earlier it was written in Talpatra, so that was like that only. So तीन भुवन में सार वीतराग विज्ञानता शिव स्वरूप स्वीकार नमो त्रियोग समारी कर. Okay. So I will not explain you word to word from Hindi because anyway the meanings are given in the after the Hindi version they have it's called transliteration. Okay. So the words are in English, but the pronunciation is Hindi. Okay. So somebody who doesn't read Hindi at all, they can take help of this transliteration and can recite in Hindi also. Okay. So teen bhuvan mein. So in the first paragraph, the words meanings are given. Okay. Teen bhuvan mein, what does it mean? And similar way. So first and second paragraph, the words meanings are given and then the summary of the whole verse is given. Okay. So we will not be reading the words meaning because that you can read anyways. Okay. Because we are not explaining you in Hindi. So it doesn't make sense to read the Hindi word and give you meaning in English. Instead, we will be directly connecting with the summary, and whatever I have to explain, I can explain from the summary also, because those words are being used in the summary. Okay. So the first word in the summary is passionlessness, vitrag vigyanta. Now what is this vitrag vigyanta? Vitrag is passionless and vigyanta is specific knowledge or omniscience. So here it is written as omniscience. Why it is written as omniscience? Because when we do Mangalacharan, we always uh, pray to, mostly in all the Mangalacharans that you will see, we always give reverence to the Panch Parmesthis, Dev Shastra Guru and all. But here they have given reverence to Vitrag Vigyanta. Okay. Teen Bhuvan mein Sar. What is the best in these three worlds? Okay. The upper world, the middle world, and the lower world. Upper world is, of course, the celestial beings. The medium world is where we live and the animal kingdom lives, subhuman state lives, and the lower world is where the hellish being or the infernal beings lives, okay, resides. And Sar means supreme most. So what is supreme most in this universe? Three worlds. They say Vitrag Vigyanta. Passionless omniscience knowledge. Okay. Vigyanta means passionless omniscience knowledge. We also have Pujya Gurudev Sri's Pravachan on Chhaya Dala. Okay. It is published by the name of Vitrag Vigyanta and it has got 6 volumes to that. Okay. So if anybody wants to listen to this Chhaya Dala in a detailed manner, you can refer to uh, Pujya Gurudev Sri's audio lectures and the scriptures which is being published by the name of Vitrag Vigyanta part 1 to 6 from, it has been published from Jaipur. So I also referred that book when I was teaching in Hindi for the first time, and from there I got, there were around 4 to 5 meanings of Vitrag Vigyanta. The same word having 4 to 5 meanings, and then later on I discovered few more also. So in total I'm going to tell you 6 meanings of Vitrag Vigyanta. First is what there, it is there in this book, that passionless omniscience knowledge, Vitrag Vigyanta, that is the first meaning. The second meaning is the 3 gems, Ratna Tray, okay, right belief, right knowledge and right conduct. So when we say passionless, it means charitra, samyak charitra, okay. And when we say Vigyan, that is passionless, it means no, Vigyan is omniscience knowledge, but Vigyan is again discriminative knowledge. Okay. So under that comes the belief attribute and the knowledge attribute. So if we put it together, Vitrag Vigyanta, then it is Darshan Gyan Charitra. That is 3 gems, right belief, right knowledge, and right conduct. So we are praying to Vitrag Vigyanta. Okay. We are obeying, giving obeisance to these 3 gems because we also want to manifest these 3 gems. Okay. The third in the meaning is Bhed Gyan, discriminative knowledge. Okay. So this discriminative knowledge begins from the 4th stage of spiritual development. Okay. So this is the third meaning, that is discriminative knowledge. Vitrag Vigyanta means discriminative knowledge. Fourth one, Vitrag Vigyanta means Shuddhatma, pure soul. Okay. Pure soul. So from the real point of view, the pure soul, which is an object of our meditation. Okay. Object of our meditation is this pure soul. So first we have to identify this pure soul and then the meditation can start. Okay. Before identifying, whom would you meditate into? Okay. So before meditation, you should fix up the object, what you want to meditate on. Whether you want to meditate on the body, whether you want to meditate on the respirations, people do meditation on respirations, but that is not what the Jainism preaches. Jainism preaches that first you decide on the object on which you want to meditate. So we want to meditate on our self soul. So first we have to identify the self soul. Very good example I can give you of this. I have listened from scholars that you tell a person, young boy of 25 years, okay, to meditate on his fiancée. So he cannot do that because he has not chosen the partner, right? And then if you get him engaged to a girl, and then you tell him don't meditate on that girl, but he will be meditating all the time, eating, talking, walking, whatever he does, everywhere in his knowledge screen, the picture of that fiancé will always reflect, So this is called meditation. Meditation is something that you don't have to do. It happens automatically. Once you decide on the object, then the meditation follows. Okay. So we don't have much shibir of meditations. We don't organize that. Why? Because first you decide on the object, the meditation automatically happens. You don't have to do it, The person got engaged and he is automatically meditating. Nobody can stop him from that meditation. Okay. And while he was not engaged, how could you meditate? Because he has not decided on the life partner. So it is this. So our emphasis is on understanding the pure soul, contemplating on the pure soul, and coming at the right belief of the pure soul, right decision on the pure soul. So once you realize yourself, the path of liberation begins. Okay. So we will cover this. So teen bhuvan mein sar, what is the most supreme most in this three world? This vitrag vigyanta. What he says in the next line? Shiv Swarup Sivkar. Shiv Swarup means Shiv Swarup which begets bliss. Okay. Shiv Swarup, it is full of bliss. Our soul is full of bliss. So we were discussing the 6 meanings of Vitrag Vigyanta. I think I missed out 1 minute. So we were on to pure soul. The 4th meaning was pure soul. Okay. The 5th meaning is the 5 supreme beings, Panch Parameshti. Okay. Aryan Siddh are, why we are including Panch Parameshti in the Vitrag Vigyanta? Because Aryant and Siddh Parameshti have completely manifested Vitrag Vigyanta. And Acharya, Upadhyaya and Sadhu have manifested partial Vitrag Vigyanta. Since they are the holder of Vitrag Vigyanta, so that's why we also derive the meaning of Panch Parameshti from this Vitrag Vigyanta. And what is the last meaning? The last meaning is Adhyatam. Adhyatam means pure soul science. Pure soul science is Adhyatam. Okay. So that also, Vitrag Vigyanta also means Adhyatam also. Okay. So we have 6 meanings. So when next time you do Vitrag Vigyanta, this is just a Manglacharan, invocation of blessings. So we remember all the 6 meanings of Vitrag Vigyanta, then you get a better feeling. Okay. So now we will come to the meaning. So Shiv Swarup is the one which is full of bliss, and Shivkar. Shivkar means one which helps achieve the liberation. Okay. Then the words are Namo Triyog Samarikar. Namo means to pay obeisance. Triyog is activities of mind, speech, and body. Three means 3, and activities of mind, speech, and body. And the last word, Samarikar. Samarikar means full concentration. Okay, with full concentration. Now, supposing if you are indulged in, say, 7 vices, can you concentrate? No, you are all the time in anxiety. If you are involved in stock market trading, trading, I'm talking about FNO and crypto and what else they have, commodities and all these kind of things, where there is a fluctuation every day, and you have been every day glued to the TV set watching the price, so those people cannot concentrate. Okay, it's a part of the 7 vices, so those people cannot concentrate. So the condition here is with full concentration. Okay, so full concentration here means that your passion should be so mild. If you indulge in such high risk activities, automatically your uh, level of anxiety, the perturbedness upness will be a very high, akulta will be very high, because every day there is so much of increase or decrease of your wealth happening. How can you concentrate on a scriptures like this? Okay, so Pandit Todamalji has kept this, not Todamalji, Pandit Daulat Ramji has given this condition that you should listen to this scripture with full concentration. So when you do that with full concentration, then you are able to register these facts in your mind. And when you are registering it in a better way, then you are able to recall it, retention it. Retention happens very nicely. And when the retention is very good, the recall is also very good. Somebody from Singapore has given a lecture on this, how to memorize fast, and there he mentions that you have to do that in full concentration. So it is, if it is get registered in your mind with full concentration, you will be able to retain it and then you will able to recall it. Okay, so this full concentration is very important. So you should have a very simple life. If you are indulging in any smuggling activities, any wrong activities, if you are into crime, if you are into wrong things, then you cannot concentrate. That is the biggest loss. You cannot concentrate on the scriptures. You cannot contemplate on the scriptures, because all the time you are carried away by those thoughts. So we should not live on any kind of guilt. We should not regret. We should be always happy space, and then only we are able to concentrate fully. Okay. So now we will see the meaning, the first paragraph. Passionless right knowledge, vitrag vigyan. Omniscient knowledge. Okay, this is here it is referred as omniscient knowledge. In the upper, middle, and lower world is the only thing worthwhile attaining. Only thing worthwhile attaining. There is nothing that we should attain. Bestowing extreme happiness and leading to liberation. Bestowing extreme happiness, okay, is the only thing worthwhile attaining. Why it is worthwhile attaining? Because it bestows extreme happiness. So initially we discussed that we want to be happy all the time. So this is what. And leading to liberation. So present moment also we will be enjoying it, and in very soon we will get liberated. That is why with utmost care, I, Daulat Ramji, the author, with my mind, speech, and body, bow down to this omniscient knowledge. Okay, and we also bow down to this omniscient knowledge. We also bow down to this Vitrak Vigyanta with all its 6 meanings. Okay, this was about the Manglacharan. Now the stanza 1. So the tone I am just reading it out. Then everyone has to read it in that manner. And
Sir,
one,
before you read it, I just wanted to understand one thing, like, this passionless right knowledge. So
yeah,
if I ask you, like, according to you, what is passionless right knowledge in just one sentence? See, I mean, I know that,
mm,
in a paragraph what it means, but then if someone asks me in a single line, right? Like, suppose my kid asks me, how do I explain it to him?
yeah. So you have to explain it in this way, that whatever is being reflected on your knowledge screen. So for kid, you would say whatever is coming in your life, you have to just absorb it, not react. If you react, either it will be attachment or aversion. And if you don't react, it is passionless right knowledge. Got it?
Sure, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is very unique. Yeah. Okay. So passionless right knowledge is done. So now we move on to the first stanza. Any questions in the invocation of blessings, Mangalacharan? No. So we will move on to this. So Hemali, you only start with, I will just read it for you for once. Then in this tone, everyone has to read the verse, you know. जे त्रिभुवन में जीव अनंत सुख चाहे दुख ते भयवन ताते दुख हारी सुखकार कहे सीख गुरु करुणाधार. Okay, so you repeat again, Hemali, the same tune if you can,
Okay, sir.
and then read the explanation only.
क्षेत्र भुवन में जीव अनंत सुख चाहे दुख ते भयवन ताते दुख हारी सुखकार कहे सीख गुरु करुणाधार.
Good.
जय त्रिभुवन में.
Not that one, the last paragraph.
In the three parts of the universe, there are infinite number of living beings. They are all afraid of sufferings and all looking for happiness. Therefore, without compassion, the learned
With compassion, with compassion.
sorry, therefore, with compassion, the learned preceptor gives the right advice to the mundane soul about how to destroy sufferings and to achieve happiness.
Good. So, you know, recently I had shared in the group Atma Siddhi. You know, the Atma Siddhi, which is being sung in the same manner they have translated it to English and they came out this version. And I shared in the group, you know. So similarly, we can also have this Chaidala version in English, you know. If some of you want to try, I can help you out. Same tone. Je Tribhuvan me Jiva Anand. So in all the three parts of the universe, you have to adjust the words accordingly, you know. We can have that. I will get in touch with that team, you know, the one who has done Atma Siddhi. So they are more trained. So I am in touch with them also. So I will tell them if they can do this, then we can have the English like we have others in pujas and all there that has been translated. So this can be translated, but the beauty part of that Atma Siddhi version was that they sang it in the same tone, you know, as the popular tone in Gujarati we have. Okay. Jai Swarup Samajya Vina Pamyo Dukh Anand. So in that same tone they have done it. So we can try in this also. So in the three parts of the universe, there are infinite number of living beings. Okay. So three parts, upper world, middle world and lower world. And there are infinite number of living beings. Infinite means infinite. There is no figure to it. It is endless. They are all afraid of sufferings. So we are all afraid of sufferings. We don't want to experience pain. We want to always be in happy mode and are looking for happiness. Okay. So they are all afraid of sufferings. Now the people who are into crimes, you know, they are not afraid of sufferings. You know, if they would have been afraid of sufferings, they would never have committed crimes. Okay. But because of the training they got, because of the associations they got, they picked up those things, you know, and they are not afraid. Even you read in newspaper that he just came out of jail 15 days ago and he again committed a crime. So even staying in jail for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, they don't mend it. That means they have got so much of in terms of thoughts and understanding that they are not afraid of sufferings. So the first thing that the Pandit Daulat Ramji has tried to explain in the first chapter is, he has explained the sufferings that a soul undergoes in all the four states of existence. You know, by knowing these sufferings, you will be ready to understand the way, ready to understand the causes of those sufferings. And when you understand the causes, you will also be ready to understand the solution. So this is the psychology our acharyas have done, and this is the psychology Pandit Daulat Ramji has also applied. Okay. So in the three parts of the universe, there are infinite number of living beings. They are all afraid of sufferings and are looking for happiness. You know, my DP reads what? Happiness always and always. You know, always is ALWAYS. So you should be happy always. And in always, come what may. Always, you know, all four exposition you can apply and be happy in all the situations. I am not finding any better words than this. And when I started working, I was in Kolkata. I used to go to this steel plant. We were supplying material to that steel plant, and I was working in that company. So I used to go every week to Jamshedpur, and Tata Steel plant is there. Okay. And in that Tata Steel plant, they had written this because it's a factory, so they have to look after the safety. So it was written there as safety always, safety always. And from there, I picked up happiness always and happiness always, you know. So, so that should be our motto in life. Okay. Therefore, with compassion, okay. Therefore, with compassion, the learned preceptor, the guru, okay, gives the right advice to the mundane soul. Tate dukhari sukhkar kahe sikh guru karuna dhar. Sikh. Sikh is the advice. Sikh means advice. So the guru, the preceptor, the learned preceptor, acharyas, upadhyayas, scholars, they are giving advice to the mundane soul about how to destroy sufferings and to achieve happiness. So they are showing us the path. We have to just adapt and enjoy. Okay. Everything is written in the scriptures. Because of compassions with this acharyas and upadhyayas and sadhus and scholars, they have taken so much of effort to write these scriptures, you know. It takes so much time to write in those talpatra in ancient times. Acharya Kunkunu Dev, Acharya Amritchandra Dev. In those times, there was no pen, pencil, paper, nothing. So they used to write on the talpatra, the leaves of the tree. And you know, one of the acharyas, his neck got bent because continuously writing in that manner. So this is the kind of sacrifice these preceptors have done for us, you know, this because of compassion. Therefore, with compassion, the learned preceptor gives the right advice to the mundane soul about how to destroy sufferings and to achieve happiness. Okay. So, right advice. So, whatever is being said in this scriptures, it is all the right advice, and it is the advice is given for us about how to destroy sufferings and to achieve happiness. And that is what our object is. So we are so much of aligned with this scripture, you know, from the first words itself, we are connecting to this scripture in a very nice manner because they are giving advice as to destroy the sufferings and to achieve happiness, which is our objective. Now, what are the lessons or the advice would be? The advice would be in the form of 4 exposition. All the 4 exposition. Pratmanuyog. Do you remember the 4 anuyogs? Everyone remembers? Good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, very good. You tell me 4 names.
Pratmanuyog, Charananuyog, Dravyanuyog, and Karnan.
Yes, very good, very good. So these lessons are all from 4 exposition. Don't get inclined to one exposition only. Get to all the 4 expositions and balance it out. Okay, that is the final outcome. Yeah, ask.
So here the guru is being called as the learned preceptor, right?
Yeah. So Daulatramji is saying about the guru, about the preceptors, acharyas, not himself. Okay. So he is putting acharyas above him, and he said, Kahe Sikh Guru Karuna Dhar. So those preceptors, learned preceptors, they, because of compassion in them, they are giving us these lessons. Okay. Via 4 exposition. And this lesson is to renounce attachments, etc., passions, and to manifest passionless. Okay. Vitrag Vigyanta is what is our objective. Okay. So destroy sufferings and achieve happiness. So when you achieve Vitrag Vigyanta, that is the time you enjoy yourself. Now, 2 and 3 words together, Soumya. You can read the first line also because very good introduction is given in each line. So the stanza 1 I didn't read, so I am again reading it. Reasons for the treatise and the desire of the living being. Treatise is the scripture that he has written, Pandit Daulat Ramji. Why he has written the scriptures and what is the desire of a living being. Okay. So the desire is to manifest happiness and destroy sufferings. And the reason for this treatise is the compassionate feeling that Pandit Daulat Ramji had. Yeah. So, Soumya is there? Let
No,
me.
sir.
Achha, he has left. I thought in between he asked a question. So, Malti ji,
Yes, sir.
read.
Standard two. The reason for unhappiness of the living being in the transmigratory life and advice from the enlightened teacher. ताहि सुनो भवितिर मन आन, जो चाहो अपनो कल्याण, मोह महामद पियो अनादि, भूली आपको भरमतवादी. O Bhavyaji, the one who is capable of attaining salvation, if you desire the welfare of the self, then with utmost concentration, listen to the advice of the spirit. Yes, sir. Listen to the advice of the spiritual perceptor. Since time infinite, the person has been drinking the strong wine of delusion. As a result, he is wandering the universe in the miserable cycle of life and death and has never realized his own true nature.
Okay. Third one also.
The authenticity of the treatise and description of sufferings of the lowest form of life, that is the Nigod. ता सुब्रमण्य की है बहु कथा, पे कछु कहो कही मुनि जथा, काल अनंत निगोद मंजारी, इतेंद्री तनधार. The ascetics in the bygone literature have depicted many accounts of the sufferings of life and death in the transmigratory cycle 1. I, the Pandit Daulatram, will also narrate the same, albeit as a shorter version. The living being has passed an infinite time in the lowest form of life, that is the Nigod, with only one sense organ.
So you see the journey, right, begins from the Nigod, one sensed organ, okay? And there to liberation, the whole thing will be explained here in this scripture. So in a way, this is the autobiography of ours, each soul's, because each soul has been to Nigod many times. Okay. So this is our own story. So the second stanza says the reason for unhappiness, what is the cause of our unhappiness, and why is transmigrating in all the 4 states of existence, and advice from the enlightenment teacher. Okay. So he is just saying, O Bhavya Jeev, O capable soul, the one who is capable of attaining salvation is a Bhavya Jeev. If you desire the welfare of the self, then with utmost concentration, again, so earlier the word used was, what it was? with full concentration. Okay, samarikar, with full concentration, and here again it is written as utmost concentration. Okay, listen to the advice of the spiritual preceptor. Okay, tahi suno bhavi man thir an. Man an means with utmost concentration. If you want welfare of yourself. Mo Muhammad Pio Anadi. Okay. So Mo is delusion. So delusion is being compared here to a wine, and you can see the picture. So I missed out on the first picture. In the first picture, you come back to the first picture. I will again explain you. So there is this, the two strings attached to this, and this is how we take out butter from the curd milk. Okay. छाछ में से मक्खन निकालते हैं ना. So this is how we take out makhan from the curd milk. This is being shown here. The first picture. Okay. So similarly, the preceptor. Okay. The preceptor is doing the same role, and through reading the scriptures, he is taking out extracting the butter from it. Okay, that is what the first picture depicts. And there are some followers here and there. They are listening to the guru. Now the second picture, they are showing that there are infinite living beings in this universe in all the three states of existence. So the picture, the first one is the celestial being. Beside that, there is a human being. In between them, below is the hellish being. Then there is a subhuman state. So all the four state has come. Okay. And here the guru is giving the advice. Okay. With compassion, and the human beings are listening, and even the animal beings are also listening. They forget their enmity. Such is the preachings of the preceptors, that even the animals forget their enmity and they both sit and listen to the sermons. Okay. So that was the second picture. Now the third picture. You can see here a dog is barking at the drunkard person who is carrying the wine in the bottle, and because of the influence of that wine, he is behaving in that manner. Similarly, under the influence of delusion is always compared with wine. Okay, so under the influence of delusion, this human being is doing all the wrong things. Okay, and listen to that word. Since time infinite, the person has been drinking the strong wine of delusion. As a result, he is wandering the universe in the miserable cycle of life and death, and has never realized his own true nature. Okay, so the word here used is bully. Bully means bull. Bull means mistake. What mistake he has done? Right? He has consumed the wine of delusion, and that is the mistake that he has done, and that is why he is taking birth and death in this the cycle of life and death is going on. Miserable cycle of life and death is going on. So in the third picture, the right side one, a newly born kid is shown. So this is how we get birth and life, and we have been wandering in the universe and suffering in this miserable cycle of life and death, and has never realized its own true nature. So what was the mistake? The mistake is never realized his own true nature. So what is our own true nature, Jia? Quick. Huh?
Own true nature.
Yeah, what is our true nature? And has never realized his own true nature. So what is our true nature?
I'm not able to answer.
To know and see. To know and see. This is our
I
nature.
was very on the spot.
Yeah. And because of the influence of delusion, we are not able to realize this, our true nature, we forgot our true nature. Bull, forget. We forget our true nature, knowing and seeing. And what we do? What mistake we do, Jia? We forget this nature of ours of knowing and seeing. And what we become? We become a doer. Okay? This is the mistake. Okay? The third paragraph, the authenticity of the treatise. So whatever I'm writing here in the scriptures is very authentic, and it has come to me from the previous acharyas scriptures that they have written. I have studied those, and then I'm in a position to write this. And description of sufferings of the lowest form of life. Okay. The authenticity of the treatise and description of sufferings of the lowest form of life. So he's starting now, he's starting the explanation of the sufferings that we had in all the four states of existence, and he's beginning with the lowest form of life. This is Nigod. Even the one-sensed being are different from this Nigod. Okay. So in Nigod, there are, in one-sensed being, there are 5 kinds of small organisms. Okay, one-sensed organism. What are these? You know, the water, the fire, the vayu, that is the atmosphere, Jeev, Vayukai, Agnikai, then Vanaspati Kai, the plant kingdom. Okay, and one more, Prithvi Kai, okay, the earth. These are all one-sensed being. Out of this, the Vanaspati Kai, the plant kingdom, there are 2 divisions. One is Pratyak Vanaspati and one is Sadharan Vanaspati. Sadharan Vanaspati is the common plants, you can say, and the Pratyak Vanaspati is that in which like one bottle gourd you take, there is only one life in it. Okay. But if you take a part of potato, one small part of potato, there are infinite living beings in that small part of potato. So the Nigod people, the Sadharana Vanaspati is like that. In one small part, one body, there are infinite lives. And the Pratyak Vanaspati, one life in one body. Okay. So one beans you take, it is only one life. One bean, one life. One bottle gourd, one life. One capsicum, one life. Okay. Then similar like this. And there are vegetables where in one part there are infinite living beings, and that we don't consume. Okay. So that's why we don't have potato, we don't have onion, we don't have what you call lasan is what we call in English in lasan?
Garlic.
Garlic. Yeah. So these are things we avoid because we are doing violence of, we are killing infinite beings when we consume those things. Okay. So,
Sir, I also heard somewhere that
you are on mute, I suppose.
oh,
What you heard?
that these foods are tamasic also.
Yeah, tamasic also.
Oh.
Tamasic also. Right. So some religion term is at tamasic and they don't eat it. But according to our, the purpose is the non-violence. We want to
Okay.
live a life of non-violence, so we cannot indulge in such kind of violent activity where infinite beings is being killed in a small part, you know. So one body, many lives is Sadharan Vanaspati, one body and one life is Pratyak Vanaspati. So Pratyak Vanaspati is what we consume for our survival, and Sadharan Vanaspati is something we don't consume at all. Okay. So this is the lowest form of life is Nigod. Okay. So for Nigod, I will share you. The other day I said in the from Tatvat Sutra, no, one clip on Nigod. I think I have shared it because same thing we encountered in Moksha Marg Prakashak also while reading the 2nd chapter. So Nigod I have already explained. So let's see here. The ascetics in bygone literature. So whatever has been written previously in that, the ascetics have depicted Many accounts of suffering of life and death in the transmigratory circle. Okay. So, what are the miseries in hell? What are the miseries in heaven? What are the miseries in subhuman state? And what are the miseries in the human state? Everywhere, people have been suffering from miseries in all the four states. So, you can say, what are the miseries here? We are human being and we have got all the good facilities in life. So, what are the miseries here? So, come to that, we will also explain what are the miseries in a human state. Okay, that has also been depicted. So, he has just given a very vivid description of all the sufferings, and I will share the movie on Narak Darshan, how the life is there in a hell. And there is an exhibition in Thailand which also depicts the same. So both of these I will share it in the group just now after the class. You can listen to that, see that. Okay. The ascetics in bygone literature have depicted many accounts of the sufferings of life and death in the transmigratory cycle. Pandit Daulat Ramji will also narrate the same, albeit as a shorter version. So very briefly we will describe. Pandit Todarmalji has also described this in the third chapter that we will take up in the next semester. But before that we are reading this, so it will be a repetition for you there. But anyway, you understand this. The living being has passed an infinite time. We are here since time immemorial, beginningless time. Okay. So the living being has passed an infinite time in the lowest form of life, Nigod. So Nigod is the lowest form of life. There cannot be anything more lowest than this. They take birth and death 18 times in one respiration. 18 times birth and death in one respiration. Can you imagine? With only one sense organ. They have got only touch sense. Okay. So they have got a body that is touch sense there, and they are taking birth and death 18 times in one perspiration, one respiration. Okay. That is being explained in the next fourth stanza. So 4 and 5 we will take together. I think this is the last what we can do today. Then we will continue in the next. So 4 and 5. Amita ji. You can read Hindi, no?
Yes.
It's translation is also there. You can read from the English also.
Thank you. एक सांस में 8-10 बार जन्म्यो मरो भरो दुख भार निकसी भूमि जल पावक भयो पवन प्रत्येक वनस्पति थयो. Dear, would you move the page, please? I don't have the English book.
Okay.
Thank you. In the state of the lowest form of life, the soul suffered immensely. In one breathing, he was born and reborn up to 18 times. The soul went through the cycle of birth and death 18 times. When the soul got the opportunity to come out of this, he was born into an earth body, water body, fire body, air body, and then as an individual plant body. All these migrations were in one sensed life. In subhuman life, there is rarity of the mobile life and there is suffering. दुर्लभ लही जो चिंतामणि त्यो पर जाय लही त्रसतणी लट पिपली अली आदि शरीर धरी धरी मरियो सही बहुपीर. Just as it is rare to find a precious jewel, so it is equally as rare for the living being to transgress from the stationary life of the one sense being to a mobile life of 2 to 4 sense being, such as a worm, 2 sense creature, ant, 3 sense creature, or beetle, fourth sense creature. Yet again, in all these states of the living being, yet again, in all these states, the living being continues to endure sufferings.
So you see the sufferings of the lowest form. The fourth stanza starts from here, and this lowest form sufferings will continue up to the ninth stanza. So from 4 to 9, the description is of the lowest form of life, one sense being. Okay. So in the state of the lowest form of life, the soul suffered immensely. Why immensely? Because the life there is of a very big duration. It's in, it's I think in Sagropam. It's very, very long period, you know. So they suffered immensely over there. In one breathing, he was born and reborn up to 18 times. Okay. The soul went through the cycle of birth and death 18 times. Just imagine. When the soul got the opportunity to come out of this, he was born into an earth body, okay, water body, fire body, air body, and then as an individual plant body. So I told you about Pratyak Vanaspati. Pratyak Vanaspati is individual plant body, okay. And Sadharan Vanaspati is Nigod. That already we have done the explanation. All these migrants were in one sense life. Okay. So now from 5th to 9th, they will describe what they have undergone in a one sense life. All this is subhuman state. Okay. All this is subhuman state. Just as it is rare to find a precious jewel. So can you tell me in a hellish being, in an infernal being in the hell, how many senses he has?
5, I think.
Yes, 5. And plus mind is also there. You know, 5 senses plus mind. Okay. Here we are talking of one sense being now. Okay. Just as it is right. So first the introduction. In subhuman life, there is rarity of the mobile life. So mobile life is how many sense? 2 sense and above. Okay. The mobile life starts with 2 sense. So one sense is immobile life. That's why it is called sthavar. Okay. They are placed at one place only. They don't move around. Okay. 2 beings can move around, but one sense being cannot move around. So they are stationed at a particular place. So as you can see, earth body, water body, fire body, air body, and individual plant body, and the first one that was Nigod. Okay. All these are immobile beings. And there is suffering. Okay. Just as it is rare to find a precious jewel, so it is equally as rare for the living beings to transgress from the stationary life. Okay, so Sthavar is stationary life of one sensed being to a mobile life of 2 to 4 sensed being, such as worm, 2 sensed creature. Worm is a 2 sensed creature, illy. Then Chiti, the 3 sensed creature, ant. Then the 4 sense creature is what? Beetle. Beetle is a 4 sense creature. Okay. So all these are 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sensed. Later on, they will explain the 5 sensed and the, but now it is only 2 to 4 sensed. Okay. So 2 sense and 3 sensed. Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah. So when we talk about plant body, are we talking about the plant as a whole or like a jeev in a plant body?
So plant is the body, you know, just as we have a human body, they have a plant body.
The entire.
But the soul is the same. Soul is having infinite attributes just like us in a plant body. Okay. So plant body, plant itself is a body.
Yeah.
In that the soul lives. Soul, it is the abode of the soul. Acharya Jagdish Chandra Bose, he discovered that plants are also living beings. Just 100 years ago only. Okay. Earlier, no one was used to believe that plant also have a life. Now they have believed, you know. So they are all one sensed being. Okay, only the touch sense. So 2 sense to 4 sense is described in this paragraph. Yet again, in all these states, the living being continues to endure sufferings. Okay, so in all the one sensed being, then the 2 sense, then 3 sense, 4 sense, these are the beings that they are there in this life, that this body they are having, the ant, the worm, the beetle, all these, and they endure sufferings over there. The plant is suffering. Their sufferings are so immense that they only know what they are suffering, and the omniscient knows what they are suffering. We cannot make out that a plant who seems to be very stationary is suffering from so much of misery. We cannot make out. It is not explained, it is not possible to explain in words what they are suffering. Only the omniscient being knows it, and they know it because they are suffering. So one question, quick question. So how do they come out from 1 sense to 2 sense being, and 2 sense to 3 sense being? Last week, I think Himali asked this question, no? So you answer now.
Um,
Last week only we discussed this, and you only asked the question, right?
so I remember you mentioning that.
Because of every 48 minutes, there is a change in sentiments from auspicious to inauspicious, inauspicious to auspicious. Nobody can remain up to 48 minutes under one type of sentiments, whether it is auspicious or inauspicious. It keeps on changing. And because of those changes, the soul gets birth in 1 sense to 2 sense, 2 sense to 3 sense, 3 sense to 4 sense, like that. They keep on progressing, but there is no effort over there, because effort only is associated with mind. If there is no mind, that means there is no effort. Okay, they are only experiencing the past karmas that they have bound and which are coming into fruition. Okay, there is no efforts over there, but still they get into 2 sensed and 3 sensed and 4 sensed, and getting a 2 sensed being is as precious as a precious jewel. Chintamani Ratan. Chintamani Ratan means whatever you think and you get it. That is called Chintamani Ratan. In earlier times, there used to be this treasure that somebody was having a Chintamani Ratan. So the moment he asks for, he thinks only, he thinks in his mind, he even doesn't ask it also. And he gets those things. Okay. So when you have Chintamani with you, you are fearless, because whatever gets destroyed, I will ask again. Right. So that was such a rarity in those days, So to get a 2 sensed being life is again such a rarity. So it is equally as rare for the living being to transgress from the stationary life of 1 sensed being to a mobile life of 2 to 4 sensed being. 2 to 4 sensed being, anything it could be, right? So that is the thing.
Sorry, sir, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir, I couldn't remember.
So it is your function, it's your function to remember, or it is the function of the Sayapsham Gyan. It is the ability of the moment, knowledge moment. No, it's an attribute. The attribute is the knowledge attribute, and it is the eligibility of the knowledge attribute that is not remembering. I as a soul is complete in myself. So whenever such situation comes, don't feel yourself like that you are not able to remember, and especially when you attain higher ages like 50, 60, the memory goes on decreasing, and at 80, people suffer from disease like dementia, where they are forgetting what they ate in the morning and something like that. They will also forget your name, family member's name. Such things happen. So all these are part of this human life, and it's not the soul that is forgetting. Okay. So it doesn't matter. but it happens, always happens. So I didn't ask you for that reason. I asked you that since you had asked the question last week only, so you must be remembering. Anyways, don't mind. Okay, so we will stop at here, and next week we will continue from the sixth stanza onwards. Okay, if you find time, you can just revise it once, you will understand it better. Luckily, I am finding this book very good. At least we have something to offer to you in a very good manner. So I think the preachings will become more easy and you will understand better. Okay. And the photos are also there. So that also helps, So the last photo we didn't see, Yeah. So the stanza, fourth stanza, we can see the one sense being. You can see the fire body, you can see the air body, you can see the plant body, water body, okay, earth body. So these are immobile beings. And then in this picture, you can see the 1, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense. Okay. Okay. So next week, 6 stanza onwards. Okay, today is the last day or tomorrow is the last day of our Gandhar Mulyankan. I have given you 2 chapters from Ram Kahani. So I think many of you have not completed. I think only few people have completed. How many of you have completed in the class now?
I've
You have
done it.
completed. Done it. So you have entered your name there.
Not yet, sir. Not yet.
So you.
I'm almost done, sir.
Yeah. You enter your name. So we will plan it out some next week because unless and until everyone completes, we cannot have a live lecture on that. And we will wait for 2-3 days more. If nobody is responding, then I will tell you to just share it in the group audio message. So you can just share it across. Okay. We will plan it out in the next 2-3 days. Let me talk to people. First of all, whoever has completed or on the verge of completion, they can enter your names in the group so that I know who are left over and then I can talk to them and then decide what is to be done. Okay. And the other assignment, that is CC1, 10 sentences from Moksh Marg Prakashak, any 10 sentences from chapter 1 and 2. Okay. What is the deadline for that, Himali? I've given a deadline.
No, sir, you have not given.
Okay. So today we have completed this chapter. So I will give a deadline from today itself, 21 days from today. So your homework for CC1 is 10 sentences, writing 10 sentences which you like the most from Moksh Marg Prakashak and explain any one of the 10 sentences that you have written and explain in 3-4 sentences only what you like most about this sentence. Okay. And the myth buster that you should not forget. Okay. This is your homework for CC1. And how much time it will take to write 10 sentences, Pratibhaji?
So it will take time to reread the lessons.
Yeah.
तब तो 10
Just 10
sentences
So
sentences.
you have already read the lessons, right? While in class.
We have to pick up the best 10 sentences. We have to read the lesson again.
Yeah. That is good that if you read it, okay. But even if you do that reading and then only you write, when you start writing down how much time it will take?
At least 2-3 hours. If you read the whole chapters again.
No, so reading of
yeah.
the chapters is different time slot. But I'm just stating when you have already read and when you sit for writing, how much time it will take?
Maybe
Half an hour, maybe half an hour. Not more than that. So you read once again, you read 2 times again, no problem. Because the more you read, the more the subject will be clear in your mind. Okay, there is no shortcut to it. You have to read. And once you read, then it will keep on coming to your mind again and again. And that is how you can contemplate. Okay. And then you can arrive at a decision. It is not that once you read and you make a decision and you retain it. It is not that way. You have to read it again and again with very full concentration, as mentioned by Daulat Ramji. With full concentration, you have to read, contemplate, take decisions, and then you will be able to retain it. Okay. So you read, no problem, and then you write it down. I will give 21 days from now. So today is what date? Today is 22nd. Oh, good. So today is 22nd. So 21 days from now would be somewhere around 19th, I think 19th, maybe. No, not 19th. 10 days here and 11 days there. So 11th, around 11th. 11th April of next month. So you have got enough time. You complete CC1. You have already done GM, and then Viva I will be doing from Chedala. I will be asking questions, 3 questions from Chedala Granth when we complete it. So that at that time we will be doing Viva and CC2. Both we will do simultaneously. Okay. Pardon? Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत